There is a city that exists only when you close your eyes, and every time someone sees it, that city gets one step closer to our reality.
Item number SCP-3007, Object Class, Keter.
Special containment procedures. Foundation web crawlers are to monitor global networks for keywords related to the world of two artists or descriptions of a tall black pillar within a ruined cityscape. Any individuals claiming to have experienced recurring vivid hallucinations of such a location are to be detained, interviewed, and administered Class A amnestics.
If symptoms persist, the subjects are to be transferred to Site 19 for long-term observation. All physical artworks or media depicting SCP-3007-GV are to be confiscated and incinerated. Research into the biological or metaphysical nature of the infection is ongoing.
Description: SCP-3007 refers to a phenomenon affecting individuals across various demographics, seemingly at random. Those affected, designated SCP-3007-1, suffer from vivid multisensory hallucinations. These episodes occur without warning and last between 5 and 80 minutes.
While in this state, the subject's consciousness is effectively transported to a location designated SCP-3007-GV. SCP-3007-GV is an expansive, ruined urban landscape. The architecture does not correspond to any known human civilization. The city is characterized by extreme verticality, with crumbling skyscrapers connected by bridges made of a white calcified material. Analysis of subject descriptions suggests these bridges are composed of billions of compressed human skeletal remains.
The sky in SCP-3007-GV is described as a perpetual twilight filled with a dense, toxic-looking yellow vapor. The most prominent feature of this landscape is a massive black pillar situated in the center of the ruins, extending beyond the cloud layer.
The horror of SCP-3007 is not merely psychological. Injuries sustained within the hallucination manifest physically on the subject's body in the real world. If a subject falls from a height in the vision, they suffer massive blunt force trauma and internal hemorrhaging while lying on a containment cell floor. If they are burned by the black fires described in the ruins, they manifest third-degree burns instantly. The phenomenon is progressive. As subjects experience more episodes, the hallucinations become more frequent and the pull of the pillar becomes stronger.
The final stage of the infection occurs when the subject reaches the base of the pillar. To date, only one subject, a former commercial artist designated Subject R, has successfully ascended the structure while under Foundation supervision.
Subject began the episode at 14 hours. He immediately reported being back in the dead city. He described the smell of ozone and rotting meat. He stated that the bridges were singing today, a low rhythmic vibration coming from the bones.
Subject reached the base of the black pillar at 14:15. He described the material as neither stone nor metal, but something that felt like cold, hardened ink. He began the ascent via a spiral staircase carved into the exterior.
As he climbed, he reported seeing the first artist. Subject R described a massive withered corpse, roughly 5 times the size of a human, fused into the side of the pillar. Its face was frozen in a scream, and its hands were missing, replaced by jagged metallic protrusions.
Subject R claimed the creature was still painting the sky.
subject's blood. At 14:45, Subject R reached a landing approximately halfway up the pillar. Here, he encountered a series of murals.
The first mural depicted a thriving civilization of humanoid beings, similar to humans but taller, with elongated limbs. They were shown creating art and music.
The second mural showed a rift opening in the sky above their city. Something was coming through. Subject R described it only as the second artist, a swirling mass of colors that did not exist in the natural spectrum.
The third mural was a depiction of total carnage. The second artist didn't just kill the inhabitants, it reimagined them. It tore them apart and stitched them back together into the bridges and buildings Subject R had been walking on. It turned their history into a graveyard.
The fourth mural showed the last survivors of that world. They were huddled at the base of the Black Pillar. They weren't trying to fight. They were trying to send a message. They were trying to paint their reality into another world so they wouldn't be forgotten.
Subject R stopped at the fifth mural. He was silent for 3 minutes. When Dr. Harland prompted him, Subject R began to weep. He described the fifth mural as a bridge, not a bridge of bone, but a bridge of light and thought, extending from their dying world into ours. He saw our cities, he saw our people, and then he saw the second artist following the bridge. Subject R's voice became frantic. He stated that the mural was wet, the ink was fresh. At 15:10, Subject R reached the summit. He reported seeing a vast, empty plain at the top of the pillar. In the center was a single, massive eye, miles wide, looking directly up at the sky. Subject R whispered into the recorder, stating that the eye wasn't looking at the clouds. It was looking through the clouds. It was looking at him, and through him, it was looking at the doctor.
Subject R then reported that he saw the second artist standing on the edge of the summit. He described it as a tall, thin figure wearing a mask that was constantly shifting through every human face that has ever lived. It held a brush made of human hair.
Subject R's final words were, "It's not a vision anymore. It's a blueprint. He's finished the first layer of the painting. We are the white space, and he's ready to start the red."
At 15:20, Subject R's body underwent a catastrophic physical transformation. His bones began to shift and fuse. His skin turned a stark, chalky white, and his facial features smoothed over until he had no eyes, nose, or mouth. He was dead within seconds. Simultaneously, at a local art gallery in London, a previously blank canvas on display began to manifest a hyper-realistic painting of Dr. Harlan's office. In the corner of the painting, hidden in the shadows behind the doctor's chair, was a tall, thin figure with a shifting mask holding a brush.
The painting was seized and destroyed, but the implications remain. SCP-3007 is not a hallucination of a dead world. It is a bridge. The inhabitants of that ruined city, in their desperation to be remembered, have given a malevolent entity the map it needs to find us. The world of two artists is no longer a memory. It is a prophecy. Every time an infected subject sees that black pillar, they are inadvertently pulling that reality closer to our own.
The most recent report from Site-19 indicates that the yellow vapor described by Subject R has begun to appear in the peripheral vision of researchers who have never even seen the artworks. We are losing the ability to keep the canvas clean.
Subscribe for more files from the Foundation.